what's going on. Now, there's actually been some big beta changes, and the most prominent actually being that Eliza has finally been nerfed. Now, we're not going to go over her nitty-gritty damage reductions and all that other stuff, but we are going to go over the more important things to go over. So let's go over what has happened to Eliza and the other important beta changes right now. Now, this is a live first impressions of it. So there actually has been some changes to Valentine. So if you think that Valentine hasn't been that great, then, well, you're going to like some of the changes that has happened to her. Big Ben has finally had a change to actually make his parries a little bit more usable, even though it still has you gaining chip damage and being hurt from parries. There is a little bit more safety when you're doing parries, and I will show you that later. So, the big change to Valentine, which is her only change, and is an experiment, is that, as you see, I'm charging up my vial, and if you know anything, exactly when I do my dead cross, it will no longer shoot out a shuriken, it will now just do a vial. But, if I just tap the punch button, you already saw me charge up that vial twice. If I just tap the punch button when I do the dead cross motion, which is a quarter circle forward punch, I can now just throw out shurikens, but if I hold it down, there you go. You don't even need to hold it down all too long. It's actually pretty nice that you don't even need to hold it down all too long, but it's also sometimes annoying because sometimes you'll accidentally keep your finger on there a little bit too long because the window for just tapping it is pretty generous when you think about it, but right there, I just tried to tap it, but it's still, this right here, this kind of holding it down, that will give you a vial. You had to do this fast of taps. Alright, so that is the change to Valentine. Now, Big Band has an even better change. His change is now, you can block after doing a successful parry. If I can get this one. You can actually now block if you get in the recovery of a successful parry. But it doesn't seem like you can do it on a Valentine level 3. Unless if I not doing it too fast. Doesn't seem like you can do it as fast as a level 3, but I think that you could definitely do it on the recovery of a normal. So if Marisol was doing her heavy punch like that, you could block after the first one, I believe. See? So it's a little bit more safe if you don't feel like having to parry everything and you're not confident in what they could be doing. So it's a little bit nicer to people that actually want to get good with big band parries, but don't want to take the huge risk involving it, because you already take damage for getting parries, as you saw when Parasol was doing her level 3. This is a pretty nice change, but now the biggest change that I'm glad that they finally listened to what I said, they probably didn't listen to me, but a bunch of other people, is now Eliza's health steal, now not being half of her health, can now at max be a fourth of her health, 25% of her health bar. And I believe her taunt actually stays out a bit longer now. But her taunt also allows you to use her level 1 in segment form. Her level 5 is now gone, which honestly I don't know why they even took that out, because, well, that had no reason to be really took out. Nobody used it. I guess that's the reason why, but that's the only reason that I can think. Now, other changes are when you're in segment form, attacks, as you see, it regularly drains your meter, like usual, but now, attacks drain a specific amount of meter. Light attacks don't drain too much meter, while medium attacks drain a little bit more, and heavy attacks drain a lot of meter. Honestly, I feel like this change is a little bit overkill. I know I wanted Eliza nerf, but this is kind of overkill because you're gonna lose about like 3 bars anytime that you bring out Sekhmet, and why would you even want to bring out Sekhmet if you're gonna lose so much meter on any combo? Look at this. This is the general Sekhmet combo, and I just lost 2 bars. So, kind of overkill on that, but I hope that's kind of changed back to what it originally was, and maybe just make the meter being drained faster when you're normally, you know, like this. Just have it drain faster and not have this, because this is kind of overkill to kind of an insane amount in my opinion, but I haven't really tested it in full. Now, that is all the changes to Sekhmet and Eliza. That isn't going into the nitty-gritty. There are a bunch more changes, and don't worry, I will put all the changes in the description below. Now remember, this is a live one, so remember, we aren't going to see too much, but there is one last thing that you do need to see. Remember how bad Sekhmet's assist was? You don't drain any meter, and you actually gain a little bit of meter plus all that lockdown? Now, Sekhmet's assist actually does drain meter. But don't worry, people that want to use Sekhmet's assist, it isn't going to be too hard to regain all that meter back. But yes, Sekhmet's assist now does drain meter even on hits. So you won't be spamming this out all too much, but you still will because it's nothing too noticeable. And that is basically it for all of the changes. I hope that you guys did enjoy, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.